From St. Joseph, Missouri, here is Travis Lee Hartman.
Namaste.
Nice. I'm at peace. Are you at peace?
Namaste here.
Okay. Namaste over here. Welcome to the latest episode of Weighing In with Travis Hartman. This is episode 24, folks. Thank you so much for joining in the fun and being a part of this, whether you're subscribing or not. And if you're not, you should. So go ahead and follow and subscribe to our content, whether it's on YouTube, iHeartRadio, iTunes,
Spotify, Amazon. Literally go on your little browser and search Weighing In with Travis Hartman and literally subscribe to every
and guess
single
what?
one of those.
We have a social media presence too. You can find us on Instagram and Facebook and all that good stuff. At Weighing In with Travis Hartman. That's Instagram at least. So anyways, thank you
and
to
Facebook.
And Facebook, yeah. So you can find us out there if you so choose to, I guess. We are here. We talk bourbon, boxing. We have beards. It's the 3 Bs.
I love it. We haven't mentioned that for a while.
I know.
Because your beard was making its way back.
Well, it still is.
It's
getting there.
It's pretty good.
Yeah. It needs more length in the front.
It's full. That's what he
said. That's what he.
Well, yeah, he was telling her about it.
Okay.
I need a little bit more length on the front.
Okay, well, there you go. So, anywho, we are here. I think our brains are a little sharper because we are recording a little early. Usually we record our episodes on Sunday nights. It is a Saturday night, which just says that we are 2 pathetic losers.
We're happening, bro.
Yeah, that's what we do on Saturday night.
Man, you're one pathetic loser.
Special thanks to our media partners. We have TH Boxing, Gulfstream Financial, and IF Enterprises.
Boom.
Thank you so much for the media support. So here we are, Weekend Trav. We are episode 24. We are getting towards the end of the year. It's the most wonderful time of the year.
Oh, sorry.
Okay, so.
He's beautiful.
You look good.
He's back.
He's
back.
Good.
He's still back.
Yeah. You got the Missouri hat.
Fight for the fearless.
You got it all. I like it. You got a good look today. Maybe I'm more cheery on Saturday nights.
I was going to say, because you've liked one outfit in 23 episodes. One. And now you're being super nice and complimenting my outfit. I don't know what to think right now.
What do I want?
What is going on?
What is it that I
Literally, what's going on? I'm a little worried right now.
That's a good place to be. You should always be curious.
Drop a bombshell on the show right now? What's happening, Brandon?
What's
happening, B-Money?
I can't give everything away yet.
B-Money.
So anyways, yes, I am B-Money. Brandon Waters over here, the producer. That there is Travis Hartman. Thank you so much for joining us and tuning in. We've been in this just real aggressive boxing calendar for the last few months. And even tonight, which the event just wrapped up, it was over there in England, and we saw Anthony Joshua take on, I don't know his first name, but Pulev.
Kubrat
Pulev, which Weekend Trav, you had your prediction video. We put that on YouTube, yesterday, I think?
Yep.
So that was out there. You called Anthony Joshua, 7th round knockout.
Yep.
Give us the stats, what exactly happened, because that just ended not very long ago.
Yeah, since it was in England, the fight, they're 6 hours ahead here in Florida, which is where we're recording from. So the fight already ended, which is pretty awesome because we always do a recap anyway, and that we did it early this week. It worked out. So Anthony Joshua is back to his winning ways again. He's just doubling off of his rematch victory over Ruiz, and now he beat Kubrat Pulev, who was no joke. The guy was 20-1, and you know who his only loss was to going into this fight? Klitschko, Vladimir Klitschko. So Kubrat Pulev was a worthy opponent, more than worthy. Like, he was a live opponent in there.
Yeah, I think he was ranked 15, I believe. I don't remember which organization had him ranked that high in the heavyweights.
I know he was in the top 15, yes, for sure. But he put up a heck of a fight. I mean, he's a heck of a guy. Tough dude. Something that you knew he was going to be tough because, for one, he's 20-1 in the heavyweight division. I don't care who you are. If you are ranked in the top 15 in the heavyweight division, you've had to beat a couple of guys. You've probably faced a couple of really top tier guys. So, and he had. So, it was a setup fight, though, if we're being honest. And I said this in the prediction. My prediction video was probably the shortest it's ever been because there wasn't much to it because I was right. I said Kubrat Pulev is going to get knocked out by Anthony Joshua. I threw my prediction round out there. I usually don't try to do a round too often, but I did. I said 7th round. It happened in the 9th round. So be it. But I was still correct. He won by knockout. And I think that, and I said it in my prediction video, if you guys want to go back and watch it, that I think that we're trying, they are trying to set up a Tyson Fury, Anthony Joshua in 2021.
Yeah.
I think it's going to happen. I'm actually fully confident that they're going to fight in 2021. Is it going to be their very next fight? I don't know. But I'm confident. I think they're going to fight in 2021. I
don't see who else that they would really entertain in the Fury camp. It's not going to be Deontay Wilder again. I mean, that just seems like nonsense going on over there.
Yeah, and that's all. Honestly, that's all on Deontay Wilder. This guy, he's kind of lost his marbles. He kind of fell off the deep end after getting beat one time in his entire career. He got beat, and he just flew off the rocker. Like, this guy's like talking about conspiracy theories now, talking about how his trainer was in on it. He had loaded gloves. He had loaded rat. Like, listen, Tyson Fury won, should have beaten the first fight. That was not a draw. Tyson Fury got robbed. Then Tyson Fury came back and literally punished Deontay Wilder. So we're moving on from that. Yeah, and so is Tyson Fury.
Yeah, I feel like
they're done messing around with that joker because, listen, I'm pro-America, and you know that. I love Americans, and I rooted for Deontay Wilder.
Sure.
But at some point, we got to move on.
I just feel like, he always comes out with like the crazy outfits on the walkout. Dude is like he is so in the conspiracy theorist mindset now. He's going to come out with tinfoil hat. He's going to, come out just, I don't know what happened to him. Like, he has lost it. Yeah. Lost it.
I mean, honestly, think about this, though, Brandon. This is where it's not that I understand it, but I kind of do. This guy hasn't lost a single fight. I think he was like 38-0 or 39-0 with one draw. And Tyson Fury utterly dominated him, okay? Deontay Wilder's literally knocked out every single opponent that he's ever faced besides one, okay? Now he got dominated. Yeah. So you got to think about the psyche, the emotional, the mental of all of that. You've been untouchable your entire career, and this guy dominated you. Tyson Fury didn't just knock him out. Tyson Fury dominated him from round 1 to I think it was like 6 or 7 when it ended. So Tyson Fury dominated him. That messes with your psyche, and when you don't have good people around you to keep you reeled in, you kind of fall apart. And he does have good people, though. He did, because Mark Brayland is a great trainer, great person, but guess what happened? He fired Mark Brayland.
Yeah.
So he doesn't have good people around him, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think I just get the impression that people were there trying to get him back focused and on track, and he just wasn't having any of it. And now he's losing it. I mean, I don't know what's going on. I get it. He hasn't lost, and especially in that kind of a fashion. He's used to dominating others, but still, at a certain point, you got to be a man.
Yeah, move on.
Got to be a man. In a man's sport, you got to be a man.
Yeah. And
move on, because right now he's a joke. I don't want to call him a joke, but he's slowly becoming a laughing stock. It's just the way he is handling himself.
He's portraying himself as a joke right now, and it's not good because nobody. Even his fans, they're not buying into like they were at first, but I think it's just carried on so long and it's such BS that it's like, come on, guys.
He's becoming internet memes. That's when you know. So who's this promoter?
Al Heyman's a promoter.
Okay, I mean, you would think at some point they're just like, shut your mouth. We got to move on to the next thing, or we need to get you back in that title picture.
You know what the saddest thing of all this is that this is probably the most that Deontay Wilder's been talked about. And that's kind of been his knock for the longest time. So I bet the promoter is sitting back saying, hey, go ahead and keep talking. Even though you're an idiot, they're talking about you.
Bad press is still press.
You'll talk yourself, and that's what's going to happen. He's going to end up, I don't know if Tyson Fury will do it, but if Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder happen to somehow strike another deal and fight again, I mean, Tyson Fury should do it because he's going to beat him again. So if somehow Deontay Wilder ends up talking himself back into another fight, a third fight, that's good for Tyson Fury. Let it happen. So that's the only chance I think right now that Wilder has is to keep talking this conspiracy stuff because that's the only chance he's getting a rematch. He's not getting a rematch based on the performance of the previous 2 fights that he had with him. But if he keeps talking this nonsense, you know, B-Money, that in the climate that we're in today, politically and everything else, conspiracy theories are really at an all-time high.
Yeah.
So maybe there will be some crazy nut jobs that latch on to Deontay Wilder and say that it was a conspiracy. The white man, Tyson Fury, did this and did that, and that's the only how he beat me. Who knows? It could happen. But I'm telling you right now, as a boxing expert, I like to consider myself that for all the years that I've had in the game, Tyson Fury beats him again. Easily.
Okay,
handily.
so let's...
And that's no disrespect. That's just based on my talent of Tyson Fury and the talent of Deontay Wilder. It's not a good matchup for Deontay Wilder.
So let's go back to the other champ then in the heavyweights from tonight. You know, he obviously won. Mm-hmm. If it's not Tyson Fury, what's the next step to Tyson Fury?
Well, it's funny because Tyson Fury has I think it's a cousin. I don't think it's a brother, but his name's Huey Fury.
His cousin, yeah. He won tonight.
Yeah, and he's not terrible.
Yeah.
So I think that if Anthony Joshua and them can't get Tyson Fury into the ring, I think that maybe Huey Fury, fights him. And if he knocks out Huey Fury, I can see this big entertainment spectacle where Tyson Fury jumps in the ring and he's like, I'm getting you next for beating up my cousin.
He had a bit of a cut tonight, so I'd have to see how bad that was and how that heals up. But do you see, I mean, we don't really talk about him that much. Do we see a rubber match perhaps in Anthony Johnson's future with Ruiz?
Anthony Joshua? Nah, I don't think so because, I mean, technically, you could say that he deserves one in the fact that he did knock out Anthony Joshua in the first fight. Mm-hmm. They rematched, and Joshua beat him by a decision. Mm-hmm. So you could say that there is a warrant for a third match. And
I mean, I'm seeing more of his training stuff out there. Yeah. I mean, it's not like he just went away. He's out there actively promoting himself and training, and it's out there.
And you're right. I think that he can get himself another fight because it was clear he came in like 20 pounds heavier in the rematch. So
he actually looks good right now for his frame. He actually looks pretty decent right now.
He's a shorter guy for the heavyweight division.
Yep.
And he definitely did not look like a guy that could beat Anthony Joshua or even knock him out.
Yeah.
And he did the first time. So he could talk himself back into another fight. He really could. And I wouldn't have a big problem with it. I wouldn't because, like I said, it's a trilogy. And technically, he really should be warranted that third fight because he won the first, lost the second. He gave you that rematch even though who else was really going to fight and make that kind of money?
Right.
So it was a no-brainer rematch. They were going to give it to him no matter what.
So that's why I wonder, like, my bracketology mind. Okay, so we all want to see Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury. I understand that. But maybe it is where Anthony Joshua's got to take care of what's his face for the third, or at least fight him for the third time. Maybe then Fury has to fight Crazy Boy the third time and just be done with it. Not that he owes him that.
He doesn't, yeah. And
But everyone loves money. Everyone loves money, and people will pay to watch that.
It's true. I mean, I would watch it.
So would I.
Because, again, like we're talking, this is, and I'm sorry, but this is true about Deontay Wilder. That was the thing about him. He didn't know how to promote himself. He wasn't popular. He was undefeated heavyweight champion of the world, and this guy couldn't draw more than like 5,000 people to his fights. Like, it was not, he couldn't, like, and I don't blame the promoting on that one either. It was just, he wasn't, I don't know what it was. Maybe it was just he wasn't likable. I don't know. I couldn't tell you because I know him. I met him. I fought on a card with Deontay Wilder. Super nice guy. When I fought on the card with him, I think he was like 5-0 as a pro. Super nice guy. Very personable, very nice. But for whatever reason, he didn't really pick up with the mainstream media.
Well, his personality ends at the walkout. That's it. I mean, he's just entertaining on his walk to the ring.
Well, I mean,
beyond that, on the mic, not very good. Interviews, not very good. He's an imposing looking figure. I mean, he is great shape.
He looks the part.
He's what you want in the heavyweight, right? A dominating looking presence. He needs this fight. Money, everyone's bank account needs that fight, in my opinion. But Tyson Fury doesn't have to give it to him.
Nope. And again, I'm genuinely okay if Tyson Fury says, you know what?
Yeah.
Talk yourself, say what you want. I'm not fighting you. Because one, I do believe Tyson Fury genuinely wanted to fight him in the third match, and they kind of were in talks. And Deontay Wilder just started pulling this weird stuff and stopped. Their whole team stopped responding to like the negotiate. All like weird stuff was happening, and I was just like, I think deep down inside, Deontay didn't want that fight. I think he knows it. I don't want that fight.
Sure.
And I think he did all this crazy stuff to get out of it. However, we'll see. I think at the end of the day, he did all this crazy stuff because he didn't want to fight Tyson Fury. But now I think they're sitting back at home. They're like, wow, Who else are we going to fight?
Listen, exactly. Money talks.
Yeah.
BS walks, right?
Yeah.
So they need it. They need it.
Who else is Deontay Wilder going to fight that people are going to pay to watch?
There's only
not many.
There's only a handful of names right now in the heavyweight division that should even be talked about in like that top 4 to 6. Okay, and we just talked about 4 of them.
Yeah.
What other match are you going to put together?
I mean, you could put them together, but you would have to put them with one of those guys.
Well, yeah,
That's
exactly.
the only thing. None of those guys can fight anybody else that.
I mean, hell, we just saw the 15th ranked guy, which is still not top 10, but the 15th ranked guy take on Anthony Joshua, and he just took him apart, 9 rounds, done.
Yep.
I mean, everyone knew that was going to
leading up
happen.
to it.
I would have loved to see. I didn't look at the Vegas numbers on that. I could imagine it was just kind of like.
The odds had to be
Yeah.
great. But everybody's a little gun shy though still with Anthony Joshua because
Well,
of
after
the
that,
Ruiz.
sure, of course.
But I still think the odds were pretty astronomical.
Probably.
You pretty much probably had to bet $1,000 to win like $1.
We say it many times here that as the heavyweight division goes, so boxing goes. Thankfully, that's not really the case right now because there's so many other things going on in different weight classes to talk about, and the excitements around other weight classes. I mean, obviously, we're all excited about Tyson Fury because he's a personality. You got that. He's marketable.
Got a backstory too. The
And
guy's
that's why,
just phenomenal.
yeah, and that's why I think if they can somehow set up that Deontay Wilder matchup, if both camps can finally come to a conclusion on that, not that I think Wilder has a chance, but the marketing of that,
Does
the
have a
promoting
puncher's
of that,
chance
always, yeah, but the promotion of that to play off the crazy stuff, Tyson Fury will torch him.
It'll be huge.
Leading up to that fight, it'd be
Huge.
beautiful. It'd be beautiful.
Only mainly because, again, I think because of Fury, but you add Wilder in there and the crazy conspiracy theorists and all that stuff, it would be huge marketing.
Look, I mean, look at you as a boxer, promoter, put the heavyweights in your mind, top 5. Who's the only one that's really a draw from a marketing and promotion standpoint?
Well, there's 2 because Joshua's a huge draw too, but Tyson Fury overtook Joshua.
But where's there's no charisma, though.
I mean, I don't know. Anthony Joshua's pretty charismatic, good looking.
Well, take
plays
away
the part.
take away the accent.
He's
we know
very commercial.
We know the ladies like the accent. Yeah. I get that.
But he's very personable. He had the whole heavyweight division for the longest time.
Sure.
Charismatically though, not just winning, but like dude was kind of like charismatic, a little bit witty, really good interviews.
But if you're flipping,
Tyson Fury's
if you're flipping through Instagram or if you're looking at YouTube or whatever else, and you scroll across Tyson Fury's face talking, or Anthony Joshua's face talking, who are you stopping on?
Well, the ladies will stop on Anthony Joshua.
Yeah, but if you want to if you want some humor, if you want that, I mean, I
mean, now I would say the last 2 to 3 years, yes, Tyson Fury.
Yeah.
But before that, Anthony Joshua.
Well,
He's
sure.
commercial. The dude literally.
Well, because what else was going on in the division 2 or 3 years ago other than that?
Anthony Joshua was going on.
That was it.
But he was massive. I mean, this guy was putting like 80,000 people in the seats.
And I'm not trying to discredit him at all. I mean, listen,
I feel like you are, Brandon.
Yeah.
B Money.
We'll call him. Get him on here.
Okay, that's
the
one
one you
contact I
don't
don't have.
Okay.
I don't have that one. That's the. Although, I do have contact with Eddie Hearn, which is his promoter, Matchroom Boxing and DAZN. So maybe I'll reach out to Eddie and be like, Eddie, do me a solid. B Money was talking smack on AJ. I need you to bring him on the show.
We just need to test his charisma a bit.
I'm telling you, you'll be impressed.
Because as somebody that I consider myself semi-charismatic on a mic. I enjoy the camera a little bit. I play up to it. I get it. I've been told that I have a nice voice. That whatever you say. What do you always say? I'm a songbird of our generation.
Yes, you have a voice of an angel.
That's true. Yeah, you're
the songbird.
You know,
of our generation.
your friend over at Tidal likes my voice.
He does. He said you have a great voice, and Doug's up there.
He's the man.
They have their own podcast.
He's the man.
So
yeah, gets a few more views than ours.
That's a pretty good one.
You know,
I haven't checked out actually. Do they?
Yeah, they do. Well, it's
I hope they do.
It's Tidal branded,
but like 100,000 followers.
But if you're watching ours,
Come on, Doug.
if you're watching ours,
help a brother out.
We're not sponsored, but we're basically Tidal branded. Look behind his head.
He does, and they know it. Everything I have in my gym is Tidal. Because
look behind my head. If you look,
best.
I don't know, it might be up there. I don't know.
Some of the best.
So
better than all the rest.
Well, we can try. I really think that the heavyweight division. If we're trying to get as much money and eyeballs to that division as possible over the first 6 months of 2021, as much as I want to see Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua fight I feel like they need something in the middle. I feel like they need that next one to help continue to promote up to that fight.
I mean, if you want to be a promoter and bleed out as much money as you can out of those two guys, you could.
Well, that's the point, right?
But to be fair, those two don't need any more build-up. They don't need any more marketing.
Yeah.
Those two, you're not going to sell any more or less.
But that would
whether
carry,
you have a tune-up fight or have them fight a right away.
But that would carry that division, that weight class, the whole year.
Yeah, but you got to think about it too. If those two ever do fight, which I think they will, there is going to be a rematch clause in that.
They really have to.
Okay, because no matter how it happens, it doesn't matter. Let's say Tyson Fury dominates him and knocks him out. I still want to see a second. Like, it's a heavyweight division. Anything can happen because they both can punch. So I want to, and AJ, you could say that punches harder than Tyson Fury even, but I want to see the fight. I don't think it needs any more build-up. No, okay. I know it doesn't. Those two dudes right now, they are literally at the peak of their selling
I can see
capability.
both. Yeah, I can see both sides of that.
Tyson Fury is massive.
I just want to see as many good, high-quality fights with high-quality names as possible. You know, because we've been spoiled. The past 4 months, we've been spoiled.
Man, boxing's hot.
Yeah, so
it's hot.
And it's going to continue to be scorching hot leading into this weekend.
Yep.
Let's talk about that a little bit because 2 different events, correct? 2 different events going on this
one's
coming
on a Friday,
weekend.
the 18th.
Okay.
One's on the 19th.
All right, so walk us through that. What are we looking at on Friday the 18th?
We have Triple G, Gennady Golovkin, the Kazakhstan assassin. No, they call him Babyface actually. But Triple G is fighting. You know what? I don't want to disrespect the guy at all because he's undefeated, but I have no idea who this guy is. I've even looked him up, and his name is, I can't even pronounce it. So I'm just going to let everybody know that Triple G is fighting on Friday on DAZN. And then the very next night, Saul Canelo Alvarez is fighting Callum Smith.
That's a good one.
Who is 28-0, and that is a good fight. That's actually I think that's gonna sneak up on the radar on some people.
I think so.
And they're probably not thinking much about it. I know Canelo is. That Canelo comes ready all the time. You don't ever catch Canelo sleeping. I've never seen him in a fight that I didn't think he was prepared for. Even his ho-hum fights where he was supposed to win, he wins them. So I think it's gonna be a really good fight. I think it's gonna be a very tough fight. I think it's gonna have a lot of bad blood because Canelo beats Callum's brother, which is Liam, Liam Smith. He beat him already. So I think there's a little bit of blood there that, you know, the other brother's like, I'm going to get some revenge, you know.
Sure.
And plus, it's Callum's biggest fight of his career. And Canelo is everybody's biggest fight of their career. So he's got a really tough responsibility because people get up for him. You know what I mean? Like, if you're Canelo, it does, at some point in your career, it does have to be hard to get up for these guys. Sure. Even though you know he's good, this isn't a blockbuster fight. This isn't a fight that Canelo's thinking in his mind, well, this is for my legacy. This isn't a legacy fight.
Yeah, but I think I think he has more to get up for this fight just because of finally breaking off of the zone, the contract. It's been a while. It's been a little bit since he's fought.
It's been over a year, I believe.
Yeah,
now.
So I'd imagine he's antsy to get in there. He's antsy to get back to it.
I hope so.
No, and once again, we can only go off of what we hear through camps, what we see, like everyone else could see things. Dude's been, I mean, it's not like he hasn't been training. It's not like he hasn't been working.
He's the consummate professional.
Correct.
That guy really is. And that's why.
That's going to be a big one. So what we'll hear from the pundits and the analysts leading up to it, you know, what we're going to hear from, the idiots over at ESPN and everywhere else, Max Kellerman, those people, there's going to be a little rust. Canelo, there's going to be a little rust. No, there's not. Just like with Errol Spence, there was no rust. He came right off of a car accident and just dismantled Danny Garcia.
14 months out and just...
Yeah. No, Canelo's ready, and he wants to... I think he wants to make a statement and prove a point that I was being held back with my old contract.
I'm not afraid to fight the best because
I think
Callum is the best.
He's up there.
He
sure is.
Tough fight.
Yeah. So, once again, loving it. This is how we're rounding out our year. Okay,
because Errol Spence them the 1st of December. We just had Anthony Joshua. Yep. We're having Triple G. Then we're having Canelo. Like, it's Christmas, man.
Yeah, man.
It's Christmas all month, and I know you're happy about that because you love.
I love Christmas. I've been listening to Christmas music for like 6 weeks.
Yeah, that's pretty solid, actually.
Yeah, no.
And you've been decorating your house. Did you add?
I did add some stuff. So once the satellite radio stations had holiday music, Christmas music, I was all over it. So that was like November 4th. Right. So, and plus I needed that cheery stuff through the political nonsense. I needed to hear that Christmas music.
Hopefully it's almost over.
Yeah, it's been over for a while, but come on.
True.
Let's be fair.
True.
So I've been listening to Mariah Carey. My favorite song,
yeah.
Wham. I like the song by Wham, Last Christmas.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Every version of that song from people nowadays is garbage. Hot trash. Don't listen to it. Listen to the original.
Yes, sir.
George Michael. We just didn't know at the time that George Michael was singing about other men, which, you know,
I was gonna say.
to each their own. I mean, whatever. It's not my business.
True.
But Last Christmas, that's my favorite Christmas jam.
Can you do all
I
the
can't.
listeners a
No, I
favor?
can't. I can't sing it because I
sing
can't
it?
do it credit. No.
Man, I don't know. You're the songbird of our generation.
George Michael, though. George Michael, Wham, and the other guy. I don't remember the other guy's name. Anyways, so yeah, I've been listening to Christmas
George
jams.
Michael and Wham, huh?
Well, George Michael was in Wham.
Wham. George.
It's him and the other
Wham.
dude. My British friends always correct me because they know like everyone's name,
I'm
so
just
they would
thinking,
say
like,
it's this.
Wham, bam, thank you, ma'am.
Yeah, but in his context, it was a little different, right?
Yeah.
So, whatever. Let's
Let's
teach
get
their
back on
own.
topic.
Not my problem.
I took that one off.
Not a problem. Okay. Anyways.
Where
Where are we at?
Anthony Joshua.
Christmas.
Anthony Joshua won.
is great. Christmas is great.
Boxing's amazing.
Walking into winter wonderland.
We love ELE.
Elite.
We got a little bit of sidetracked there.
That's okay. That's what you enjoy about this.
Great weekend of boxing matches. We have another great weekend that's coming up
Yeah.
to end the year out, and I think that's the last big fight of
This
the year.
coming weekend, I believe so. Because then you got Christmas weekend. There might be some small shows on, but probably not much going on. And then you got New Year's, which then,
We do got a big fight.
yeah, that's a big fight right after New Year's. What, on the 2nd?
January 2nd, Dallas, Texas.
Yeah. So you will be in Dallas, correct?
American Airlines Center.
I
Big time.
I may be there. I'm not sure yet.
I think, you know what? I want every listener on here to blow this guy up, because you have to do it fast, though, because I need to know pretty quick. They're making flight arrangements. This guy needs to come to Texas and help me out.
Okay, so I want
with
to.
my fighter.
So let me explain my apprehension.
There's
to
no
doing this.
there's no explanation.
No, there is. I'll explain
not
it right
a good
now.
one.
This is good because it helps fill some time.
Great.
So,
Don't think we need help with that.
do we? Okay. Well, this is the tangent then. I would love to go. Unfortunately, you all have to be there before New Year's. New Year's is a big
have to be there.
holiday for my spouse and her family. I don't think we'll see them on New Year's Eve this year, but it's a big like mental deal for her and for me to be away. I don't care if the whole family's sitting there going to sleep at 10 o'clock. The fact that I'm there is the important part, but not being there is very, very. It could be an issue.
Can we zoom you in? We'll zoom you in, because that's what we do these days.
Okay.
You'll come to Texas.
I tell you what,
We'll
if
zoom
you
in.
want to sell it to her,
I will.
I give you the open access and freedom to do so.
I like this.
Or even better, get Arena to start that sales process.
That's what I was going to do. I'm a good negotiator, and I know how not to negotiate as well. I'm going to go through the woman first.
That's smart. I'm not at the negotiating table currently. so until the door opens to that table.
Listen, all I'm saying is, literally, this is a big fight for my fighter, for one. But you also know what you're doing in this game, and I need help in the corner with my fighter.
I can easily hold the spit bucket.
And that's what I really need you to do.
Yeah, that's what I'm good
at.
at.
But I also need you, because this will be big for a podcast.
Yeah.
Canelo Alvarez will be there.
Yeah.
Ryan Garcia, who is actually, ironic enough, is bigger than Canelo on social media.
Oh, yeah.
Crazy enough.
Because he's a heartthrob.
He promotes himself well, though. Like, he was
He
big
does.
time.
I listened to him on Mario Lopez interviewed him, I think, earlier this week.
Kid knows how to get out there, man. He's
Yeah.
all over the place.
And he's John. I mean, he's ready.
Charismatic.
Kid is ready to
good
go.
looking, baby face, but an animal in the ring.
Yeah, he's ready
he
to
sells.
go. Listen, if it works, it works.
It needs to work.
That's what she said. So, as you can see, I mean, you can't see at home, but if you're watching on YouTube, and if you're not, and you're only hearing us, go to YouTube and find us, Wayne and Travis Hartman. I bring a lot of gear for this. It might not feel like we have a lot of gear, but we have a lot of gear.
We do. We're perfect.
So when we travel, we don't travel lightly. It's an adverb.
True.
So I have to be cognizant of that as I pack my bag for Dallas, Texas, home of the
Dallas Mavericks, because that's where the fights are going to be at.
home of the last Super Bowl championship for the Green Bay Packers. I just watched. That's where they won.
Oh my gosh, that sucks.
Aaron Rodgers won. won it for us against the Steelers there at AT&T Arena.
Blah, 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 blah. You know, all I heard was blah, 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 blah.
He's having a good year.
Garbage.
It's a good year so far.
Garbage. He's good. You know that I know
he's
that
good.
he's good, but garbage.
So I've been catching him a little bit on the Pat McAfee podcast show. If you ever watched this guy,
No, but we need to watch more podcasts.
you should watch this guy. So you can find his stuff on YouTube. He was the punter for the Colts. Like, he's retired now. Funny dude. They have a good show. They always have like A-Rod's on there all the time because they're friends, right? And so it's just funny. We got to watch that. If there was any show to emulate,
Is that one?
well, our format here, and you guys can attest to this, it's just us two, so it's not really quite the same. They have like several people on, whatever else, but it's a funny show. I mean, they have a good time. You should just look it up on YouTube.
First of all, we have a good time.
Oh, I have a great
too.
time. But I'm going to give props to other shows too. I'm not going to say that.
Deservingly so.
You know.
We like to give credit when credit's due.
Yeah, exactly. There's not one way to do this whole thing, this whole shtick.
Shtick.
Yeah. I have not been watching.
We're
I haven't
authentic.
been. I haven't been listening and following as much on Joe Rogan recently. You know, ever since he
Haven't
moved,
either.
I haven't listened too much.
Everybody's leaving California.
Yeah, Oracle just
Tesla.
announced that.
Tesla,
Tesla did. Yeah, yeah,
the Daily Wire.
yeah.
I don't know how big
Well,
they
I
are,
don't know.
but
Yeah. So I put my. I don't know if I told you this. I put my pre-order in for the Tesla Cybertruck.
you did? I did see that, I think. That's pretty cool.
Because, and this is why. So
When does it even come out?
Well, they're not going to start putting them in production until like the end of 2021.
Okay.
So here's why. Don't think B Money is rolling in like Mr. Moneybags
That's what I'm
over
trying
here.
to think right now.
I'm not just stroking a check for this thing. It's $100 deposit,
Okay.
and you can back out of it all the way up to production.
Yeah, because Tesla does that because
Yeah.
when they first came out with the Model 3, the $35,000 one,
Yeah.
we did an order as well, but it was $1,000 actually for that. It was $1,000, but it was refundable all the way up until
Bingo.
production. And then 2.5 years later, and they still hadn't started their production,
Yeah.
so we backed out.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
so that, kind of the same concept, but it's only $100, right? So I looked at the thing. It's so ugly. Like, I want it. It looks like something out of Mad Max, like the old
Yeah.
80s movie.
Yep.
It's bulletproof. It's just so ugly. Like,
Kinda
man.
want it.
And I mean, I'm a truck guy. I have a
Stands
truck.
out, but it stands out. This is not a truck.
It is a truck, though.
It looks nothing like a truck.
I know, but
This is like a futuristic alien mobile, which we probably should get that truck because I think there's aliens.
so look
But
it up right now. Go to Tesla Cybertruck and look at the specs on it, because there's 3 different models you can get.
Okay.
There's like the lower end, middle end, and then higher end.
Does it have the Falcon doors on this thing? Do they go up?
No, the
just
traditional
normal?
open. Yep.
That's lame.
Well, I think they only had like one model that ever did that.
Oh my gosh, this is Ford. Oh my gosh, this thing. Okay, I'm gonna go and order it now too.
Yeah, go look at it.
Can I go and order it too?
Yeah.
I just click order now.
So they have the 3 different prices, but then if you want the self-driving is an additional $10,000.
Oh wow, it's not as much as I thought it was.
No, exactly.
The single motor's 39.
Yeah, but you don't want that.
Dual motor,
I went dual because.
all-wheel drive. Yeah, you don't. First of all, single motor, rear-wheel drive. You do not want to get a rear-wheel drive.
But look at the highest end one.
Tri-motor, 69.9.
But look at the specs at the top.
Plus-
0 to 60 in how quick? Should say at the top.
6.5 seconds.
No. Hold on, let me see.
That's what it says right there. 0 to
No,
60.
click the
Oh,
tri-motor.
because that's the older one. Okay, yep. Yeah, oh my gosh, 2.9. 14,000 pound towing capacity, 500 plus mile range.
For the battery, yeah.
First of all, Elon Musk is a mad genius.
You know who could solve our voting issues in this country?
Elon.
Musk.
Let's do it, Elon.
Blockchain technology tied to our voting records. I think that takes care of fraud.
Let's
You
do
could
it.
you could with blockchain technology, you can basically track where something originated and where it finished. And so if you can figure out a way to partner that to the voting system, that's it. That's it. Now, there's some privacy concerns because then you can know who someone voted for specifically to the person, but at least you know what's originating in the proper
You
source.
can probably still find out who people voted for. though.
No, I'm sure they do, yeah. So anyways, I think Elon Musk, he's a diabolical genius. He wants to be partnered up with a computer in his brain and stuff like that. I'm cool with that, whatever. So bring on the cyborgs, as long as I get the Cybertruck. Now, Amber doesn't know that yet. She does. I alluded to the pre-order. It's only $100. You know, what is that?
It's fair.
We throw $100 out like anything in this show.
No, when we go out to the club, we're always
yeah.
we're making it rain.
Yeah, all right.
B Money, when I take B Money out, I have to like pull this guy away because he's literally throwing $100 bills out.
Let's be fair. I don't go to those places. First of all,
I've watched him.
Because
he's on the table.
Because if
like,
I did,
he does like this. He sheds it.
Because if I did, you'd be being pelted with nickels, not paper.
So there's actually a story about that's funny, but Floyd Mayweather would go to a club and do that, and people were like, oh my God, he's big money. This was before he was really big money. He had money, but not a lot. But it turned out that it was not counterfeit, but it was fake.
Fake money.
It wasn't counterfeit because that's illegal.
Whatever.
It was fake money.
That's marketing.
And he was like,
probably had his face. Probably had his face on it.
Yeah.
So I mentioned the throwing nickels. Once again, I don't go to those places, but in college we had nicknames for a lot of people. We were not nice. We were not nice frat guys.
Okay. Well, there you go.
There was one girl that we called Nickels.
Oh my goodness! Why did you call her Nickels?
Because her face looked like she got hit with a sock full of nickels.
OMG.
Yeah.
That's not nice.
I know, but it's college, right? Anyways, where were we going with all this?
We were just wrapping up the boxing, and we kind of did, I think, officially.
Okay,
We wrapped up the boxing. We wrapped up the new ones coming, Canelo,
Okay.
Triple G.
And then obviously, right when the calendar turns over for 2021, big matchup there, and
January
you will
2nd.
be there, and hopefully B Money will be there too,
Yes.
holding a camera and a
Yes.
spit bucket.
Love it. Love it all.
I think when we get back, we're going to talk
We're going
about.
to blow up from that.
Well, let's take our short pause here. We're going to come back, talk about what we're drinking today, and maybe let's go ahead and highlight your fighter as well a little bit. Let's talk about that matchup a bit.
Yeah.
And whatever other nonsense we start to talk about, as we always do. So, once again, thanks to our media partners, TH Boxing, Gulfstream Financial, IF Enterprises, and to all of you subscribers and followers of our content. We always are appreciative. We joke around a lot here. We give people that don't follow us a hard time because we'd like to see you following us, but we do appreciate the support. We always do. We don't take that for granted whatsoever. So thank you so much to all of you out there. But we're going to take a short pause here, and we will be back momentarily after we eat some pretzels and go to the bathroom.
Boom.
Okay. Listen. If you're a professional athlete, you're a professional athlete. I respect that. Okay? I do. I'm not leading up to a joke about the WNBA here.
I didn't say anything.
I'm not leading up to my own joke of the WNBA because they're enough of a joke of themselves. We are back from our break. What?
Nothing.
We're back from our break. Thank you so much for still tuning in here. We're going to talk a little bit about what we're drinking tonight. As always, after the break, we talk about the bourbon at hand. And today we're having Heaven's Door Tennessee Bourbon.
Knocking on heaven's door. Sorry.
I like it. Guns N' Roses, boy. Guns N' Roses. So this is the Tennessee Bourbon, straight bourbon whiskey, because they have a few different kinds. And so when we were actually there at the liquor store tonight together, and the guy that works there, he pulled out a list. He pulled out all of his research on those different things.
Top 20. He had a top 20 list.
Top 20 list. And then we end up picking something that's not even on his list.
Because to be fair, though, we did have a lot of stuff we already tried a lot of stuff that was on the list.
Sure.
Not a lot, but some.
I know. And he was a really nice guy. And he just came up to start talking because of my sweatshirt. And then he was talking. He lived in like 6 or 7 different NFL cities and all sorts of stuff.
Us. We attract that.
Yeah, we do.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
There was a bunch of people in there. He came up to us.
That's true.
And literally wouldn't leave us alone.
He's probably thinking, these suckers, we need to get certain things off our shelf, so I'm going to show them this list, and hopefully they'll take it. So we picked this, number one, because when we saw it, we started singing the Guns N' Roses song, which...
Immediately came to mind.
Yeah, absolutely. And what I'll say here...
Heaven's door. Okay.
I like it. It tastes pretty good to me.
I do too.
Are
we going to rate this?
We're going to rate it, yeah, but I want to talk about it a little bit. And just like the label said, it's a little vanilla, a little toasted oak, some spices. I don't know. Let me hold on.
Get it.
You know what? I actually get some of that. I don't know. I do. Maybe because I read it, it's in my brain, so now I'm thinking.
That's what she said.
Is it?
Yeah. I don't know.
I don't know either.
Listen, I'd never make sense with those.
Sometimes you do, and it's really good.
Thank you.
So am I going to rate it first, or are you going to rate it?
You rated first last time, so I'll go first this time because your rating helped mine because I was going to give it a little higher.
Well, last time we had
desperately low.
Well, proper 12 was just
not so proper.
No,
it was proper 4.
It's yeah. Well, it got almost to on average 4.9, I think, last week. But this, so I'll let you rate it first. We're doing Heaven's Door Straight Bourbon Whiskey.
Knock, knock, knocking on heaven's door. Okay, I'm gonna give it a 7.8. 7 point. I think that might have been the highest I've given so far.
One of the highest you've done.
I think so.
Okay,
I'm feeling pretty good. I'm feeling good. So I'm feeling very generous.
7.8.
Generous. It's the Christmas season. My gift to Heaven's Door is a 7.8.
7.8. Okay, so 7.8. Wow.
I know I adjusted yours now.
I wasn't that high, but I was in the 7s.
Okay, that's fair then. I'm cool with that.
But you did tick it up slightly. So I'm going to go 7.2.
All right.
I was at 7.1. I was at 7.1 until you gave me your score, and I still have that lingering taste of toasted oak.
Toasted oak.
And vanilla and spice.
Toasted oak.
Toasted oak.
Sounds so just...
So I went 7.2.
Manly.
That is on average...
No, don't expect me to do that average.
Are you sure?
10,
7.5.
Oh, that's, yep.
7.5.
That's pretty easy. 15.
Yeah. 7.5 is our 7.5 boxing gloves out of 10 for Heaven's Door.
Pretty fair.
Tennessee Bourbon, the straight bourbon whiskey blend, because there's a few different ones that you will find at your local liquor store if they if they carry this here. I'm satisfied, and we're going to continue drinking this as we discuss more boxing with our beards as we drink this bourbon.
That's so good.
3 B's, bro.
The tongue twister that you just nailed.
That is what she said.
You're welcome.
I'm sorry, son, if you're listening to this. I'm not going to explain that.
I'm sorry, future son, if you're listening to this. We're men. This is how men talk.
That's right. Anyways. So let's chat. I wanted to talk about the event that you are going to in Dallas, and your fighter Ashley Curry, because I want to highlight her a little bit. She's on this card coming up, and I know she's going to be coming into Orlando to train significantly leading up to that fight for the next few weeks. So let's talk about the fight in general. Kind of walk me through the process, how it developed, and just from your eyes as the trainer, where you're at currently with that bout.
First of all, I want to go ahead and thank you for coming, because I'm going to put that out there. Thank you for coming to Texas with us. Secondly, I want to thank God. And then thirdly, I want to thank Ashley, because this came out. Golden Boy reached out to me. Roberto Diaz, who is a matchmaker for them, good friends with. We went back and forth with this fight, and they offered it to Ashley, and I reached out to Ashley, and Ashley hasn't fought for over a year. She lives in Missouri, I live in Florida, so I haven't really seen her or got to train her for over a year. So I reached out to her, I was like, hey, you want to do this? And she was just, she thought about it for a little bit because she hasn't fought for a year, and she's fighting this woman named Francon Cruz Dezern, who top-level fighter, world champion. So Ashley agreed, and I was like, the only how I'll do it, though, Ashley, is you have to come out here and train with me. Like, you have to come out here and train for a good amount of time with me. We only get 3 weeks together, so there's not... I would like about 6 weeks for a fight like this, but I get 3 weeks, so I'll take it. But Ashley's all about it. She's a game fighter. I think she's had a little over 20 pro fights. She's a former Division II basketball player. She averaged, like, I don't even know, like, close to 20 points a game. Like, this girl's an athlete. So she's coming out here to stay with me for 3 weeks here in Orlando, and it's gonna be like a 3-week boot camp. I mean, TH Boxing is gonna kick her butt and get her as ready as we possibly can. I'm gonna give her, this is my goal always for every person that I train, or every fighter that I train, or every person that I train, is I want to put them in the best possible position for them to succeed. So what I mean by that is I am gonna give her the absolute best training in 3 weeks, mind you, that she could possibly get. And That's it. The rest is literally, it's going to be her after that. And she knows that. So I'm going to train her butt off. I'm going to give her 100 million% and train her butt off, get her in some shape, get her weight down. She's going to have a little bit of ring rust because she hasn't been in the ring for a year. And we have 3 weeks, so there's not going to be a lot of sparring, a little bit for sure. But it's a great opportunity. It's for Golden Boy. It's on the undercard of Ryan Garcia, Luke Campbell. Massive card. It's in Texas, so it's a great opportunity. It's for Golden Boy Promotions, Oscar De La Hoya. They're all going to be there. So Ashley's going to come ready. I mean, she's a tough girl. She's literally been in the ring with the best women boxers out there, period, in like all weight classes. I'm not even kidding. Look her up. Look her record up. She's literally been in the ring with all of the best, literally. And this is no exception. She's fighting Francon Cruz Dezern, who her only loss in the pros is to Clarissa Shields.
Sure.
So it's going to be a great fight. It's going to be a great opportunity. Ashley is totally down for it, and she made the commitment to me, and she's staying at my house, here at our house, and she is going to train 24/7 with me. I mean, we're going to do 2 days. Like, it's going to be no joke. I told her that. I'm like, listen, you're coming out here. We're working. Like, you're not coming to Florida for a vacation. And she is 100% on board. If you know anything about Ashley, she's a hard worker. She is probably one of the most coachable professional athletes that I've ever experienced. She listens attentively. She does what I say. And you can't ask for better.
No, you want that for any
people.
athlete, any sport. That's such a big thing from the coach. That's what you hope for. Even if they're not like the greatest athlete, I'm not saying that about her, but you want somebody that listens and applies. And that's all I've ever heard when you talk about her, which you've talked about her for many, many months, obviously, because last fight was what? It was over in London, wasn't it?
Yep, it was Newcastle, England.
Newcastle, sorry. And you've always spoken so highly of her. So I look forward to meeting her.
She's tough as nails.
I would, it'd be nice to work out with her a little bit. Maybe even get her some price boxing action. We could probably get her some rounds with Tiffany and other people, maybe even Taylor, depending on her wrist.
Yeah, that would be good, actually.
Yeah,
they're all a little bit lighter than what she would be, but work is good work.
Exactly, just to get some of that rust off a bit. Yep. So that would be great. That's gonna be great.
I like that, actually.
Yeah.
We're gonna set that up.
And she's coming in what
tomorrow? She lands tomorrow morning, actually. I think even like mid-morning, something like that, but she'll be here. So
we'll have her on the show too. So we'll have her whether in the podcast capacity or an interview capacity, whatever it is. We're going to give love to the people around us, no matter if it's in boxing world, business world, the bees, beard world, bourbon world.
I like it.
Yeah.
I like it.
Anytime we can show love. Obviously, you guys know that.
We do, and we give small businesses love.
And we'll keep doing that. Listen, we just forget to ask. So if there's anybody out there that, especially on the business side, if you just want us to give a quick plug, cool, I'll do it. Just plug us too. Because we're not here trying to monetize this at this point. But
we're a couple of dudes having fun, recording in a boxing gym.
Yeah, drinking
bourbon.
Talking about life.
Bourbon and beards.
And boxing.
I love it. The 3 Bs.
We got it. The
Better Business Bureau of beards.
And boxing.
It's 4 Bs.
And bourbon.
And bourbon. 4 or 5.
That's a lot of them.
I'm getting lost now.
Yeah. Well, we get lost here on the show quite a bit.
Tangents happen. They're supposed to happen.
All right. So we got Ashley Curry, and that will be on that show. I don't know. Was there anything else we wanted to highlight? I mean, we could, because we have a couple weeks leading up. No, actually... Yeah, we got 2 weeks leading up to that show.
Yeah, because it's not until January 2nd, so we have a little over 2
So
weeks.
if I'm not in Dallas, we'll figure out the scheduling of what we do.
Thank you for coming, though. I appreciate you coming.
Well, that's what she said. And you need to start the domino effect of me getting there.
I got you, bro.
Okay.
But we literally have to know by pretty much by Monday.
Okay. Well, we'll see what I can do. Anyways, so this is the point of the show, Weekend Trav, where I think it might make sense. I know I gave you a little bit of love on the outfit, but let's let the viewers at home have a witness of this. Is this a new one or no?
Yeah, so I go back on the episodes and I make sure, because now I have a closet full of these. I went back today because I actually had to look back. I was like, have I wore this one? So I went back all of our episodes.
You know what
wore it.
You know what I'm actually thinking? Like, I keep looking over, because as we do this, I try my best not to look directly at the camera. I'm trying to look at you while you talk and that sort of thing. I keep finding myself looking at your buttons. I don't know why. Like, those are nice buttons on this shirt.
They are kind of cool, actually.
Yeah.
I never really noticed that.
Yeah, so okay, do your pirouette and whatever else. So for the listeners at home on iHeartRadio or iTunes, on Spotify, we just had the walk-off, except there's only one guy doing the walk-off.
Weekend Trav.
Maybe next time I'll do a walk-off. Your bottom button is not buttoned, by the way. Anyways.
Oops.
Oopsie. So
Spotify didn't see that.
That's the Weekend Trav look for today. I'm not hating it. It's only taken 24 weeks for me to slowly but surely thaw to this whole thing.
That's how I am. I'm a persistent person. I break people down eventually, and they end up loving me. So you're going to end up loving Weekend Trav.
I don't know if I'm going to love the shirts.
You love Weekend Trav. Thank you for loving
There's a
Weekend
persona.
Trav.
Yes, the persona I am gravitating towards.
B-Money, you love Weekend Trav.
Well,
you know why?
Why?
Because we love everybody.
ELE.
ELE, baby.
Yeah,
ELE.
but what about B-Money? Who's loving B-Money?
Weekend Trav loves B-Money. Weekend Trav loves B-Money.
Okay, so hold on. Okay, so this is kind of... I had a little gripe here a couple days ago.
Here it goes. Therapy.
So there was... we banter back and forth on Facebook and things like that. And that's what we do. And there was something about us grappling, right?
Yeah.
And then somebody said that their money was on me.
Yep.
And then they took it back because they saw my profile picture on Facebook.
Actually, I didn't get that one either. We should probably ask. Brittany, I know who said it too. Brittany, what did you mean by that?
I'm kind of curious. Was it?
It was because it's like it's Green Bay Packers.
My personal, because there's snowfall.
I think it's Packers.
It's a very sensitive looking selfie.
She's a Chiefs fan.
Oh, well.
I think it's Packers.
Chiefs fan since when? Last year when they won?
Nah, she's from Kansas City, so they've been a Chiefs fan.
Give me a break.
To be fair, but
because of my profile picture, I'm not going to take him down in a grappling fashion. Listen, he'll have me in boxing all day long. I get that.
I'm running. You're not getting me on the ground because I'm running.
Well, grappling is a certain area. You can't run beyond the area.
Well, I'm throwing fists and then running.
That's fine.
First of all, we're not fighting.
You know what I do with my legs, too, so it's okay.
You can kick me in the legs, probably. I'm not... Listen, have you seen my legs? First of all, I'm a boxer. I'm not a grappler. I will know... In life, I've learned to know my weaknesses. I know what I'm not good at.
Sure.
Okay?
That's a good...
I am not good at anything other than boxing when it comes to grappling, when it comes to jiu-jitsu. Although I do want to learn, by the way. Mm-hmm. That will be one of my next ventures once I fully retire from boxing. Because I love that guy.
I love AC Slater.
We have a very big bromance with AC Slater.
100%.
Mario Lopez. Huge boxing guy.
I'm calling it now. At some point, however long this goes for, we're going to get him.
On the show.
I don't know when.
I had a goal.
It might be 1,000 years from now. He's going to be on, or his ghost is going to be on.
I had a goal that I wanted to put on an exhibition for charity with him.
Oh, yeah, you mentioned that. We actually mentioned that on the show.
I still want to happen.
Why not?
And then he'll come on our show because he's a phenomenal person. He's got kids. I know he would do it. We just got to make it happen.
I think
Mario,
guys.
I want to go and thank Mario for being on our show.
Well, guys like that, I feel like what their problem is that I'm
so busy.
Yeah, that's the thing. Their schedule is like so blocked out. I bet you family time is blocked out. That's just how busy they are. They're all over the place, and I get it. That's cool. As long as your family's okay with it and you're spending enough time with them and your kids, then yeah, you're going to be spread thinly. To me, that's their problem. It's like it's hard for them to carve out 5 minutes. I felt like when we got BJ Flores for 20 minutes, and especially in fight week.
I told him only 10, and we were like 25.
Yeah, and so we were so happy and thankful for his graciousness of his time during fight week of all things.
The day before the fight.
Oh, that's true. It was Thanksgiving too.
Thanksgiving.
It was 2 days before. It was on Thanksgiving.
Yeah, that's right.
So, anyways, we're gonna have him. At some point, I don't know. You have to have lofty goals in life.
You do.
You can't just go about the blasé, run-of-the-mill stuff. I don't care what aspect of life that we're talking about, whether it's just work, career, whatever. You have to aspire to something. This is the point of the show. We pivot and we're starting to talk about life, right?
It is.
So writing goals down, seeing it, visualizing it.
Paper.
Yeah, that is so important to me. So if we are going to write it down, we got to have it somewhere posted. Whiteboard.
Welcome, Mario
We
Lopez.
do that on Wednesdays. Whiteboard Wednesday.
Look at you. I like it. You're the producer, so you have all the notes. You should go ahead and thank him right now, too, for being on our show.
Yeah.
Mario Lopez, Weekend Trav and B Money are going to interview you. And then we might even put a little exhibition on in the gym even.
So I'm a big believer in, like from the faith side of things, thanking God for those blessings ahead of time.
Agreed. And that's why I'm thanking you for coming to Texas.
And then thanking Mario Lopez. So like when I look at things like even from like my business, when I have certain things I pray about there, I thank the big man upstairs ahead of time. Thank you, because I know you're going to bless this. I trust you that this is the blessing coming. Thank you now. Thank you ahead of time.
Listen, I've always, and this is coming from my dad. I just had this conversation with somebody. I was born and raised, Brandon, B Money, you know this, in a town with a population 400. Mm-hmm. I lived there from 4 years old until I was 28. Okay? The main occupation there was agricultural, farming. Mm-hmm. My classmates, they were farmers. Their dads were farmers. Their grandpas were farmers. Most everybody else was teachers or insurance agents, blah, 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 right? My dad, as crazy as I thought he was then, this guy is the reason why that I thought that I could fight at Madison Square Garden, fight on HBO, fight all over the world, and get paid to do it. And now it all started with boxing, and that's where we're at now. I've branched out so much with my boxing, and because of my boxing, that was because of my dad.
Yeah.
He taught me to literally, it's almost delusional. Like when I look back, I'm like, Pops, you were delusional, but he wasn't. He believed in certain things, and he's like, go for it. Why not? It's like, who wakes up in the morning? And I don't care who you are, whether you've succeeded or you haven't succeeded. Who wakes up in the morning and says, I want to be average today?
Unfortunately, Weekend Trev, I think a lot of people do.
I don't think they want to be average. I think they settle for being average. But I think they wake up and they say, I kind of want to do something great, but I don't want to do the process.
No, I think here's the problem. I think most people wake up and they're just ready to get through the day. Before their feet hit the ground, they're just thinking about the next time they're going to get to lay their head on that pillow. And what happens when you do that is that then your day and your outlook is just flatlined, right? You just are trying to get through it. So then you're not aspiring to something. Then you're not reaching. You have to reach, right? You have to. And it's not all about just goal setting and I'm gonna buy this house one day or whatever else. It's not all about money either.
Stuff.
It's not all material stuff, but it's about stretching and striving and reaching for something. You have to reach towards something else, and that's what helps pull you out of the quote unquote mediocrity of things. And that definition is different to everybody, right?
Yep.
Mediocrity can mean something different. It's going to mean something wildly different to Elon Musk versus Weekend Trav versus B Money, right?
True.
And just depends.
Very true.
And so I think where we fall short of as a society is having vision. What's your vision? Not only for yourself, but for your family, if you're a business owner like we are, for your business, for your friendships. I mean, it could be something as basic as for your friendships. What do you aspire to for, like, you and me? What's our goal together? Like, what do we want to do?
To go to Dallas, Texas, and make some
more of a short-term vision. Got it? Okay. More of a short-term vision. But yeah.
Then to ultimately make our podcast reach even more people.
Yeah,
because I think we have a lot of good stuff to say.
I think we do, and we have
fun.
fun.
Using that platform to reach them.
We're just having a good time.
I think that Dallas, Texas is the start of that.
Okay, well, we'll find out, right? So, I don't know. I wouldn't say I'm passionate about stuff like this, but I'm very driven when I see the possibilities of things, and when I see someone with vision. It doesn't have to be a matching vision of mine. It can just be something that they are, like, you can tell they're on fire for. Yeah. And that is inspiring to then take that fire and light my own fire for my own stuff and my own things and my own vision. And we just feed off each other. We've talked about it for many weeks before. It's true. Like you got to surround yourself with like-minded people that are on fire for something, and you guys are just burning. You're burning the world. And it's awesome. It's awesome.
Dude, you got to go for it. And literally, I'm not kidding. 2 days ago, I had this conversation with somebody from my small town, and I was just talking to them. I remember in my small town, I was trying. My goal was, I started out small. My goal was, I want to fight in the Olympics. It was always my goal. And I'm not kidding. There's this guy, and I think I might have told the story before, but there's this kid. Super smart guy too. He's our valedictorian, like super smart guy. He's very successful now too. He's a lawyer, all of that. But he laughed at me. He's like, you'll never do that. He's like, you won't fight in the Olympics. You'll never fight for anything major. He's like, you need to go to school. You need to get a degree. You need to do something solid, blah, blah, blah. And kind of scoffed at me. And I was just like, I was like, that little crap, like that actually kind of made me even more mad. Like some people would have broke him down and changed their mind. But what I want to say is like people, your friends, and I don't think they mean to do it. Like I think he actually was saying that because he cared about me. It was just like, Travis, it's like 1 in a million to be a professional athlete. Like don't put all your eggs in that basket. Well, your friends and your family sometimes put you in a box. And when you think outside of that box and want to do something like that, they're not going to be as supportive as you want them to be.
Well, because sometimes it's misguided support.
They don't understand though. They just, God love my mother. I love my mother to death, but she was not a big fan of my boxing career.
Sure.
She wasn't at all. And she'll admit it. My mom didn't believe in what I was doing. Even when I turned pro, Brandon, we've had this conversation. I remember this one time, I'm not kidding, and I know she could back this up. She was giving me so much grief. So I just fought, Brandon. This is crazy though. I just fought on HBO pay-per-view. Okay? I came home. That was Jorge Paez Jr. I had a really long, hard training camp for that fight. And I lost the decision on points, a very close decision on points to him. And I came home and I took off like a whole month. I didn't do anything. I was at home. Like I was laying around, and I lived with my mom at the time, and I was just like laying around, and my mom was like, "What are you doing with your life? You're not doing anything." And I was like, "Ma, I just fought on HBO. I'm taking a break because my body was beat down. It was, but this is where my mom and like I said, it's just how she was conditioned though.
Sure.
And she was like, you need to have a 9-to-5 job, go to work every day, come home, weekends off, all that normal stuff." To her, that's what she wanted for me, which I get it. It's safe. That's a safe bet.
Sure.
It is. And in my back of my mind, because of my dad though too, I always thought about, I was just like, you know what? I can always have that. I can always have that safe bet, always, right? So it's kind of something we talked about last episode, Brandon. It was like, failure is always going to be out there. So if you're going to fail, you might as well fail at doing something you love. Because there's a good chance you could fail at doing something you don't love. And where I got that from was Jim Carrey. His father was an accountant. He passed up doing something great. I can't remember what it was, but he was like, I'm going to be an accountant because it's smart, it's safe,
right.
I'll provide for my family, blah, blah. And like after about 10 years of that, he ends up getting laid off, business closed down, he didn't know what else to do. And Jim Carrey sat back and he was like, you know what? He was like, wow. He's like, I watched my dad fail at doing something he didn't love.
Exactly.
So why not fail at doing something? Not saying fail, but why not go for it? Because the possibility of you failing, it's high. It is. If you're going to do anything great, the possibility of failure is probably like 99%. Sure. 1% succeeds in certain things. So why not go for it? Because you could do what you're doing and have an everyday job, and you can still fail, and it's even more miserable.
Yep.
So do something you love.
Yeah, and I know last week, we made some lighthearted comments about it because that is kind of the funny shtick part of what we talk about. But I 100% agree with you with this stuff. I think if you set your sights on something massive or a vision or something like that, even if you fail in that, there's a lot of stuff along the way that you succeeded with, and it opens doors for other things. We have, and so I sometimes tie in religion and my faith to some of these things too. Like when we have our mind set on something, or we pray about something, like, Lord, provide me with this, or give me direction on this. This is where my mind's at. This is where I want to be. And in the prayer life, sometimes the answer to prayer is no. But as you journey through that, other stuff develops that it would have never like wildly entertained anything in your brain that this is where you are now, and this is what you've been provided with, this is what you've been blessed with. Or so if you have a goal in mind and you don't succeed in it, if you fail in it, there's probably some other stuff along the way because you were grinding and working hard that other stuff developed. Maybe you didn't hit that goal specifically, but all of a sudden you took a different direction, and wow, this is where I'm at with my marriage, or this is where I'm at with my friendships, or my business, or this or that. And you would have never thought that this is the result because your eyes were focused on something so minuscule as just some like wild goal that maybe you didn't succeed with, but all this other stuff in your life transpired, and what a blessing.
It doesn't have to be an all or none.
Yeah. So that's why when you have vision with all these aspects of life, the end result might not be what you thought it was from the start. The end of this thing isn't maybe where you thought it should be when you started this journey. And I love that. And that's why I think far too often people settle for mediocrity and just go about the mundane day to day. I'm just going to get through today. I'm just going to get...
Because this is what I'm supposed to
Yeah.
do. I'm supposed to have a job. I'm supposed to have a 9 to 5.
And you know what? If that's
I'm
your
supposed to do
deal, if you're listening and that's your deal, I'm not trying to say shame on you. No, if that's it, that's it. And that's what you want, that's great. Because that's got to check a box.
I'm not speaking to those people, though, because if that is what you want...
Then you're probably already not listening to us anymore.
And that is 100% okay, though. If that is what... And I've told everybody, listen, if your goal is to be the best school teacher out there, then go for it. If your goal literally is to be the best trash man out there, then be the best trash
100%.
man. That's all I'm saying is whatever you do, be the best at that.
Yeah.
Put your goals. Your goals don't have to be. If you don't want to be the president of the United States, if you don't have to be a professional athlete, you don't have to do any of that. But whatever your goals are, make them pretty lofty and go for it. And at the same time, you're so right though.
Yeah.
That shoot for the moon. If you hit a star or a couple clouds, guess what? That's still pretty dang good.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Right?
Shoot for the stars.
That's a good
shoot
analogy.
For the moon.
That's a good analogy.
If you hit a star or a cloud, guess what? You're still off the ground.
You're still flying, right? You're still flying. And I think what happens is that, especially this time of year, this is like the time of year where people start putting their resolutions and their thought process into the new year, especially after 2020, which most people had kind of some rough spots. We had some rough spots, but there's some great spots too, right?
A lot of great spots.
It's perspective.
Actually.
That's a perspective thing. So when you look at heading into the new year, you're starting to put together resolutions, things like that. I, in years past, made it a big point of this time of year to really pick things apart, not just business, not just like the gym, but like I want to enrich my mind. I want to do all these things. What am I doing with my marriage or my family? Yeah. And this year I'm getting back into that for 2021. Like, what are the things? And so once again, pulling faith into it. And that book that I sent you some of that reading about, the prayer circle thing, the circle makers. There's one thing, and sorry, maybe backtrack a little bit. I think far too often we put goals tied to money and goals tied to business and goals tied to work. Well, you know what my biggest...
That's the problem.
Yeah, I know. You know what one of my biggest prayers right now is when I head into next year? Show me, please, because I'm stupid. I'm just a stupid person. Make it abundantly clear. I want to take my family and my family be a part of a mission trip at some point in 2021. I don't know where it is. It might be in the U.S. It might be overseas. I don't know, but I want it to be abundantly clear. This is what we need to do. I want to serve. I want to give back as best as possible, and that has nothing to do with my business. That has nothing to do with a career or money. I just think that's what would be awesome for us to help some community or whatever it is. And then also my family, I know that's just something when they look back on it, it's always going to be something that changes their heart. So to me, heading into 2021, goals aren't all about my financial practice. It isn't all about my bank account. It isn't all about, material things. Like, there's so many more layers to us as human beings that we don't touch those sides, right? So for us and my family, that's what I want. I want to have that opportunity, whatever it looks like. I have no idea. Well, that's kind of like the fun part too.
Cool,
that's
really cool. Yeah.
I'm like, God, how are you going to bless us? I'm looking forward to hearing you're like, oh, you're going into the heart of Kenya. Oh, okay, make it happen. I don't know. Yeah. So that's where at least I'm at with that.
I like it. I think years ago, I used to, if you looked on my face in my biography, I wrote in there, and I said money. Money, 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 money. I'm chasing money. I found out soon, as I got older, that I don't want to chase money anymore. And once I literally figured that out, to stop chasing money, and I started chasing goals, passions, helping people, money started chasing me. Literally, I'm not kidding. And it doesn't even matter, but literally, when I stopped chasing money, when money stopped being my number one goal, and my goal literally stopped being so selfish and materialistic, that all of us, we think that though, Brandon, to most people in the world, You know what's crazy is like you pull up in a Lamborghini or a Ferrari and people are like, oh, he's successful. I don't like that anymore. No. I used to think that was pretty cool. I did, because like, oh, he must be successful. But not necessarily, not anymore. No. I'm like, I want to do some charity events, and I did. And that was 3 years ago. I started doing charity events because I was like, you know what? It's not about me anymore. And my favorite quote of all time, and I've said it many times, it's a Muhammad Ali quote. It's, the service to others is the rent we pay for our room here on earth. All right? I'm trying to pay my rent monthly, daily, because it's true. The service to others is the rent we pay for our room here on earth. Yeah. And I believe that. If more people believe stuff like that, I think we would see a much kinder world. I think we would see a world where, I'll get political on you, welfare. I think back in the day we never had welfare because our neighbors helped out. Yeah. If they saw somebody that couldn't eat, they saw a family that was struggling with food, we brought food to them. We helped them out. We brought them over. Hey, have dinner with us. We got you. And if more of us acted like that, we would need less governments. Well, we would need less help because our neighbors are pulling together as a community. Yep. And that's what churches are for. We shouldn't have welfare because churches are supposed to.
We mentioned that a few weeks ago. A few weeks ago, we mentioned that. And
that's what churches are for, and we know that, and churches are there for that.
Yeah, and unfortunately, and this is a larger topic at hand, churches in general are neutered. I think people that are on fire for their religious beliefs and whatever else are far and few between. And I think a lot of people that go to church, and it doesn't matter what faith, I'm Christian, Hindu, Muslim, whatever. I think people check a box and they just go, and it's no longer a passionate, heart-based thing. And that's why we've seen churches not as actively involved in those sort of local community things. And a lot are, but not checking the box of all the needs that are out there. So I think churches have been neutered, not because of government specifically, but by humanity itself. I don't know.
I think mainstream media, a little bit government, because we do have some bad apples in the religious realm. Yeah. Because some people use God in a bad way.
100%.
There's some bad things happen.
There's bad Christians out there. Trust me.
But that's the thing with God is there's evil out there. It's everywhere. Mm-hmm. Okay, there's evil. Yeah. It's called free will. Yeah. Okay, if you don't come to God, He can't help you.
Yeah, but to my point is you're right. In years past, decades past, churches, organizations took care of that stuff, and you don't see that as much anymore. Because for whatever reason, our culture has become neutered, and they've become self-centered. I don't know. Let
me give you a fun analogy.
I want to hear something fun.
It's great. It's positive. So there was this girl. She was at a dentist's office. She was getting some dental work done. And when she got done, the dentist said, like, a great job. She's like, oh, thank God. Thank you so much. He was like, thank God? He's like, God didn't do anything. What do you mean, thank God? She's like, well, yeah, thank God. He was like, God doesn't exist. And she was like, why do you say that? He was like, well, there's murders and there's all this bad, evil stuff going on in the world. Mm-hmm. And she looked at him and she was like, well, I don't believe in dentists. And he was like, well, what do you mean? She's like, well, there's cavities and there's dentures and there's all this in the world. And he goes, well, I can't help those people unless they come to me. And she said, Jesus Christ can't help you unless you come to Him. And it was so profound and simple, and it's true. That's
a great analogy.
There's free will in the world, and there's a lot of evil. And God can and will help you if you come to Him. So come to Him. Relent to Him.
That's good.
I thought it was a beautiful analogy.
I think that's a great analogy. And listen, Trav and I, we're not perfect by any means.
We
share the same faith, obviously. We don't pound the table on that or throw a Bible at the camera. But we believe these things, and we believe them to be true. And I have many friends that don't, and I get that. And I hope over time that the way that we live our life can adjust that or in conversations. But
or bring them closer.
Yeah. It's just one of these topics where people have been burned in the past by something like major or minor, and no matter what you do or say, that it's just such a hard-heartedness to some people that they're not even willing to have that discussion, which sucks.
It does.
Yeah, that's why I try to lead by my life instead. Like, I'm plenty of atheist friends, and you know what? I might be their one Christian friend, but I also don't treat them like they're an outcast. They don't treat me like an outcast because I enjoy their company, and we'll talk about some things sometimes. They might not agree with me now, but they're more willing to listen to me rather than whatever they see on TV, or they see people with signs downtown, which are silly.
Which, if you're a Christian, you shouldn't condemn people for not believing how you believe.
Because we're all sinners.
We are, and that's the thing. And you're so right. We're not thumping the Bible to everybody because we're sinners. I sin every day. Literally, I had one of my clients, and she was telling me her son is named Elijah, and I called him Eli. She's like, "No, Travis." She's like, "Eli's a totally different person in the Bible. Know your Bible better." And I looked at her. I was like, "Yeah, you're right. I don't know my Bible that well."
Eli is a different character. I mean, sure, but I'm sure.
She named him after Elijah. Sure. She was like, "That's his name." And she wasn't being mean, but she made a good point to me. And I was like, she's like, "You need to know your Bible better." I go, "You're right. I do." Mm-hmm. I go, "Nilda, I 100% agree with you. I am a sinner." I was like, "I'm a massive sinner in the regards that I don't know the Bible like I should."
Yeah.
I don't. I should take more time and read it and believe in it and memorize it a little more. But make it not memorize it, but make it more of my everyday life. Well, and I don't do that because I let other distractions come away.
Well, I agree with that, but also I don't want anyone to listening to us at this point. I don't want them to think that, that's something I have to do to believe. No, actually, our belief system is based purely on faith. It's not, you don't have to memorize this, you don't have to know everything inside and out. I grew up in church. I grew up as a Christian. I don't know everything in the Bible. I went to Christian schools. I don't know everything in the Bible.
I tried to block it out. I was forced to do it.
I know some historical elements. I know a lot of stuff. But I can't pull out, this verse talks about this and this part of the Bible. I can't do that. No. But I can tell you my heart and my faith belief and where I'm at. I believe in Jesus Christ. I believe that he died on the cross and came back to life. And by doing that act, he saved me, and it's a free will gift. I have to do nothing other than accept it. Based on that and that conversion of my heart, I then want to do these things. I want to live better. I want to do these things that are right. I'm not forced to do them. I still have my free will, but I'm also forgiven. So that's what it comes down to. Anyways.
That's why Jesus wasn't a socialist.
Oh, boy. We're going to stop there. We talked a little bit about that last time, I think. So I think this is a good point to go ahead and cap the show. We appreciate all that have tuned in, listening to us talk about all the stuff we talk about. We kind of go all over the place, but that's why you love us. That's why you follow us and subscribe to us. And if you don't, check the box. Just go down there. If you're on YouTube, it's so easy. You just check the subscribe thing. And if you want the notifications, you can do that too. If you go on the iTunes and everything, is it recording? Yeah, it is. Oh, he's giving a look.
Don't make me go knock on your door and punch you, because I love Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
If it takes me sinning to get more subscribers, the free will in me may do that.
Listen, when he entered Jerusalem at one point, and the temple courts were full of money changers and different, it was basically a flea market. He was so angry. He got angry. Jesus Christ got angry. That he went and actually made a whip to then overturn tables and break them apart with this whip that he made. So I've had a pastor one time, because he didn't want all this stuff just polluting the temple, right? God's house. So I had a pastor that laid it out like this. Hey, by the way, he didn't just whip that thing out. I use that analogy. He didn't just pull that whip out. The Bible says he went out and crafted it. He went and put it together. He spent time methodically, because of what he saw, to then go forth and overturn tables.
That's when it's scary.
So Weekend Trav, when he says he's going to show up to your doorstep, knock on it, and then punch you in the stomach because you haven't followed or subscribed to our content.
Thought out.
He has thought it out. Just like Jesus making a whip.
Merry Christmas, everybody.
Yeah, we celebrate Jesus' birth around this time of year. Wow. This has been a show. So thank you so much for following and subscribing. Please do so, or else he's going to come and punch you in the face or the stomach or wherever,
Something violent.
I'm just going to ask you nicely. Anyways, Thank you to our our media partners, TH Boxing, Gulfstream Financial, and IF Enterprises.
And Jesus Christ.
And Jesus Christ, he's our biggest media partner of all. Where are we at, man? This is so fun. Like, we have a good time. You got to understand. I know that camera shut off. That's fine. But you got to understand, we have a good time doing this, right?
I have a blast.
I have a blast, Ed. We're shutting it off now. Thank you. We'll see you next week. There will be some stuff during the week on our YouTube channel, but appreciate you supporting. I'm not going to say final thoughts to you. Do you have anything else to add? No.
I'm waiting for your normal.
That there is Weekend Trav.
That there is B Money.
Thank you so much. God bless.